3D printed bridge. Yes, you heard me right. Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Have you ever been wondering what it was like to have a small portfolio on the Shutterstock stock photography agency, and what kind of results you could achieve with that small portfolio? My portfolio has been developed since 2016 and I have 2,611 photos on my Shutterstock portfolio as of this date. I've also been developing a video portfolio of 204 videos. So my uploading rate has been very up and down and inconsistent over those years. I'm aiming to increase that in the next years coming, and also the amounts of videos that I'll be uploading. But here's how my top 5 bestsellers went for the last 12 months on Shutterstock. Okay, at number 5 is a photo that I had great pleasure making. It was taken at the Keukenhof, or not at the Keukenhof, but in the fields around it. And every spring in the Netherlands, the fields around the tulip growing areas and the narcissa or the daffodil growing areas just spring into life, and they attract tourists from all over the world. So I went there one day and I took a photo low down of some daffodils with a blue sky background. Now I've sold this image 42 times, but there are a lot of flower photos on the Shutterstock agency now. So I think if you're uploading flower photos now, you're going to be struggling. You really need to focus good keywords, and that will help you get found amongst the millions of other flower photos. For those 42 sales, I made $19.42. Okay, number 2 now, and that was a photo of a orange VW bus or camper van, where I took this photo, I think it was 2017. It was a beautiful sunny day at the beach of Scheveningen in The Hague, and they had an outdoor classic car exhibition for air-cooled VW and other German vehicles that are air-cooled, such as old Porsches and things. So I just went along because I thought it was interesting. I think I stumbled on it actually the first time, and I ended up taking about 300 photos of all these VW Beetles and camper vans. And to my surprise, these photos just started selling a lot. This one sold once for $20, but I remember last 2 years ago in 2022, I sold a VW camper van photo for $500. How times have changed. I did a search on Shutterstock to see how many VW bus or camper van images there were, and there were around 3,900. To my surprise, one of my images was still on the first page of that search, where you have, I think, about 40 pages of images. So that's good. And even though there are quite a lot of VW camper van photos, obviously the keywording will differentiate your photo from the rest. When it comes to photographing cars, you have to be careful about whether you can run into problems with copyright because of the car logos and the brand names. It's a bit of a grey area for me. It hasn't stopped me uploading photos of VWs, but I don't know if the car manufacturers will come after me or not, so you have to bear that in mind. Okay, my third best-selling photo for Shutterstock in the last 12 months is a photo of a 3D printed bridge. Yes, you heard me right. They have somehow created a metal bridge that was made in a giant 3D printer somehow. And I think they use a composite alloy, and somehow it layers this composite alloy upon each layer, and it cools, and over a period of time it forms this structure. I sold 5 of these photos for $21.20, and it's a really niche kind of photo. I did a search on Shutterstock to see how many other 3D themed photos were on there, and it turns out that it's quite a popular subject. It's a tech subject, a technology innovation subject, and there are 870 other photos on Shutterstock. I then did a search for 3D printed bridges, and there were only 1,000 of those images on Shutterstock, and my photos, 2 of them, were on that front page, or the first page of that search of photos. So it shows me I've done the keywording properly, and that the photos are interesting to customers. Okay, on to my second best-selling image of the last 12 months, and that was a random sale of a computer chip or a processing unit that has computer components and gold in it, and it's placed on a white background, and there's a few of these bits and pieces on there, and I kind of did the keywording more to do with people who collect these components to get gold from them, because there's gold on these connections and things. But I also did it just as a technology based item to do with tech and computers and the future. So the keywording was important. Obviously someone really needed a specific photo, because I uploaded this one in 2016 and I've only sold it once, and that was sold in 2023. So it's been sitting on my portfolio for years and years without a sale, and it's finally sold once for $25, which is a nice sale, but it's a one-off, and you can never really plan for those kinds of sales. Okay, my best-selling photo for 2023 for Shutterstock was a picture of some pink tulips, and I sold this picture, which was a commercial photo, 30 times in 2023, and it sold for a total of $39.71. Now, I uploaded this photo in 2018, so it's been sitting on my portfolio and on Shutterstock search for a number of years now. And it was very popular when I first uploaded it, which I think put it into the ranks immediately. However, now you are facing a lot of competition if you want to upload a flower photo of pink tulips or tulips. I did a search on Shutterstock and I found over 1,800,000 tulip photos, just tulips alone, and that's 17,000 pages. And I looked, I think, through all of those pages up until about page 7, and I couldn't see any of my photos on those higher ranking pages. I refined my search to Dutch tulips only, and that lowered the amount of photos to 900 pages. Surprisingly, on page 3 of those 900 pages, I found one of my tulip photos, and that was the pink tulips. Okay, so what lessons have I learned from reviewing my best-selling images of the last 12 months? And what comparisons can I draw to past sales, and what do I need to do to make my sales grow in the future? Well, first of all, I noticed that I did sell a good mix of editorial photos and commercial photos. I also noticed that I have an extremely small portfolio for the amount of years that I've been uploading, and that needs to change if I'm going to be successful and make decent money out of stock photography. Another thing I noticed that my portfolio lacks is photos of people. Yes, the dreaded subject that a lot of us try our best to avoid, and I've been trying to avoid it for the last 7 years. But I think I just have to make the choice. Do I want to grow my sales in this hugely competitive photo market now? Or do I just want to be content with going along with the same amount of sales or decreasing amount of sales? Something has to change, and I think commercial photos of people, lifestyle portraits for example, are the way to go to grow photos, because photo markets are very saturated now, especially with AI. So I do need something in my toolbox to give me that edge over the competition. Okay, that's my best-selling 5 Shutterstock photos for the last 12 months. If you found the video interesting, please give it a like, or if you're feeling extra generous, feel free to buy me a coffee. In the next video, I'll be telling you about my video sales, my top 5 video sales on Shutterstock over the last 12 months. And that has given me some surprising data. Until then, see you later.